Hey, how's it going? I am the Sanguiem, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable Deluxe Edition. So last episode, we got a few endings. We got the intended ending, and then we got some kind of game commentary ending, as well as a few smaller endings that, they're just kind of there to end the story. So we're gonna see if we can get more of that stuff.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, perhaps, indeed. I mean... hey! I like new content.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. What does that mean? Oh. Some kind of... I guess that door just randomly appears if you've played enough of the game.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Wow.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Huh.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh,
wow.
Well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Is it possible to go back? Just curious. Nope. Alright.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure
God.
it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I really hope.
Is
Oh
it
my
broken?
god. Is
What's
it
going
broken?
on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Or, oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new
I have a
content.
theory
I've
about where
never
this is
been
going.
more ready. Let's do it.
I'm hoping it's just several different
I have to
elevators.
say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh boy, the content! Let's go get the
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I can jump! Oh, I just have to jump until that says 0. Ah, of course. Let's go. Let's jump. Come on. Let's jump side to side. Almost there! Yeah! We did it! Oh, but we can't jump anymore. Oh.
Is that it?
Oh, wait a minute.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
It's the elevator. Alright.
Another elevator. Stanley,
Oh.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is
yes.
new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more.
There is
Very
more.
good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
I
Let's
have
see it.
expected.
I'm ready for whatever it is.
I half expected it to be the same room.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Twitter?
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
I mean, there's a chair.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Sure.
What do you say, friend?
I say agreed, friend. Oh? The office. It is different. Oh, no, there it is. We just gotta go in there. I think I need the fabled stepladder.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
But there's more choices over there, but okay. What's in the vent? Coffee nut. Point of no return? Oh.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
What the hell?
Take a look.
Dude, the copier machine's here.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Really? The Memory Zone.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
The British Academy of Films Television Arts awarded to the Stanley Parable. Good times, good times. The original, wow. The demonstration, memory lane, oh. The first dollar! Unachievable. And go outside, don't play for 5 years. Oddly enough, I have not gotten this achievement yet. Oh lord. Stanley, you don't look so good. Wow, look at that. Look, there's another house in the distance. There's a piano over there. Likely playing the very music we're listening to.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
That's a pretty grand achievement.
Every game ever created. It was Skyrim.
It was Persona 3.
It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I can't even imagine how you would ever be able to compare Stanley Parable to a Persona game. person of the year. Hold up. There's a downstairs as well. The memory zone maintenance. Oh yeah, we're okay. We can't go down here. My. Oh. Oh, look at that happy button. What's this?
There's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
You know, he does have a point. Sometimes you just don't need to update again. Oh, the serious room. I recognized it immediately.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Uh-oh. What happened here?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, boy. Not recommended!
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
What?
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Wow. Oh, it's raining. Oh no, the Steam reviews. Oh boy. Oh wow, that thunder sound effect. Hey, look! That looks like a good review. Oh.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
I don't think
You
so.
can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
No.
Like I let these people down.
There's recommended
the
ones.
Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh, don't be like that. We passed several. We just couldn't read them because we dropped our glasses. We forgot our contact lenses.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
Oh, no.
I wish there was a skip button.
Oh,
A skip button. Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
The customer is not always right. I worked in retail, I know.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered.
The step ladder!
No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah.
Oh, but I don't want to skip.
We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's
Can't
the
be.
only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by
he's
becoming
gonna
it is,
repeat.
so on and so forth, until inevitably.
Yeah, he repeats.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue
repeated
full of
it.
unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto.
Ooh.
Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay,
Oh.
so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time.
I don't know
by virtue
about
of the
that.
fact that you both are
You had
and
me
are
and you
not
lost me.
making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap
Circle?
the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a
Probably.
mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've got me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation. And I
What?
do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I
What?
become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I'm not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
Treatise.
All right,
Manifesto.
here we go.
Treatise.
Treatise.
Manifesto.
Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise.
Okay.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof,
I just heard
and it's all
something.
over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam
I've never written a
works.
review, so I wouldn't
Perhaps
know.
that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation.
Yes.
I think that's quite likely.
Oh, of
Or
course.
perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over.
I don't know. That seems biased.
From the ashes of depravity, rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made.
Didn't you
It is perhaps true
just
to say that
say
no mistakes are
this was
forever
a cash
etched in
grab?
stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Good lord.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do
Where did the
suggest
door
that you
go?
not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, the door's
Where
gone.
did the door go?
That's the first thing I
Wasn't there
noticed.
a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't
ceiling?
think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere?
A vent?
A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was.
I swear there
Where did it go?
was.
Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here.
I'm trying.
We need a door. We need a door of some kind.
We need a
I
door.
can work with any kind of door as long
this
as
a
it can
door?
open and lead from
It's a
one room
it's
to
a
another.
gate.
I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't... Stanley, please don't push the button again.
It's
been
been 12 hours.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really
clearly.
truly getting longer.
Uh-oh.
And my God, there's no way out
Those
of the
lights
room.
were not out
Stanley,
before.
the door is gone. It's completely gone.
You couldn't replace
I've
it?
looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just
It's just
you
me and the button.
And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're
Oh,
back.
God. How
Oh,
many
goodness.
years?
I have
How many
someone to
years?
talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
Oh, only a week?
2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
You'd think.
Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all.
Someone
it isn't
is...
even close, because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the
vessel.
outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me.
Even though
Because
supposedly
maybe,
you're
Stanley,
unfunny?
maybe if you can hear me, then maybe it
Unfunny?
means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
Uh-oh.
Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps. Yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time. That if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it.
Huh.
I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us. and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through.
What was that noise?
I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities.
I think he's a little mad.
But regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust.
I believe there's an SCP for that.
I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt...
Alright. Let's continue your freedom. Dude, that plant is dead. What was that? Is that the fan? I think the narrator just noped the fuck out. Or maybe it's been so long he has forgotten how to speak. We could wait. The clock isn't even moving. What is even...
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world.
Yeah, that's just how it is. People like different things, and, you could do one thing, and a set of people will go, yeah, we don't like that. And then, you go and change that, and then the people who did like that will suddenly be the ones that are saying, I don't like that. You're always gonna get someone who doesn't like what you're doing. Like, you can't please everyone. That's why there's so much, turmoil in the Minecraft community right now, with 1.19.
The end is never the end, 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 is never...
Wow. You know, this is starting to get a little creepy. No door? Oh. Oh, this, I see what happened. We went back under the water, didn't we? What happened to the wall? Oh, boy. Oh! Sunlight! There's a hole! Narrator, we can get out of here! Oh, the stepladder! I can't pick it up. Alright, maybe if we let the room degrade a little bit more. Oh. Ferns. Vines. Berries! This was in an ocean. I want to point out. Like, this was submerged in an ocean, and now there's trees out where the water should have been. Huh. Oh! This sound effects make me think of, it must be nighttime, and the plants are gone. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Let's continue. Uh-oh. Oh, the room is oh, this is... Oh, my... Oh! Oh my lord. Huh. At least the sun is still here. What the hell is happening? Wow. Alright. How
All of
curious.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wow. Alright, narrator, I guess you did forget about what happened there. Alright. More new content! Wow. Alright, you know what? Let's... Oh, wait a minute.
When Stanley came to
Huh,
a set of
that
two
was
open
weird.
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, okay. Well, I think I'm actually going to leave this episode here. Now, I know we only did one ending this episode, but that was a doozy. That was a doozy of an ending. A very long one. I guess what the game was trying to say is maybe the game doesn't need a skip button. Alright, maybe you should just enjoy the narrator. After all, this is a very narrator-based game. That's why it took me forever to finally decide to start using the skip button, because I just wanted to sit back and listen to the narrator. That's pretty much what makes this game so enjoyable, is the commentary that the narrator gives to all these elements. So I guess whenever you see a bad review that kind of targets a part of the game that's kind of crucial, take that review with a grain of salt, and balance that out with the positive reviews, yeah? I remember the other day I was watching, was it Fireborn? Reading negative reviews for Hollow Knight, and that... You wouldn't believe how many ridiculous reviews there are of that. Just saying how bad the game is. When that's just not true. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing, and remember, the Wasteland is watching. See ya.